Great day today, weather-wise. Regular routine for Wednesday. Any questions relative to this week?
I'm sure you saw Russell on social media.
I did. Look, and the euphoria, the way that game unfolded, that was strictly about Dart. I mean, and I that was in no way, shape, or form anything that was directed at Russ. So, and I might be able to see how he might perceive that, but coming off that win and watching how he played, that wasn't any intention at all.
John, do you have any thoughts on Trey Greenlaw's suspension?
Yeah, and they don't really matter, right? We take it. You focus on the things you can control, and then you're on to the next game.
Is that the kind of thing that you guys are behind him on, or are you sitting down to do this again?
Look, it was just prior precedence. That's all. So yeah, we were clearly in his corner with the appeal. What normally has been a fine ended up being different. So, but again, we can't control that.
When you're in his corner, I mean, do you talk to the NFL yourself? Or?
No, there's a process. There's just an appeal. An outside person hears it, and within a day, they make a decision. So, it's that simple.
Coach, did you know after the game that something went on, or did you just find out?
In the next morning, for me. Yeah.
You've talked before about there's a way to win each game. With their offense being as successful as it is, does it change during the week how you?
I think very much so. They've got a lot of guys playing well at a high level, and especially when the receivers are all healthy, and they are. So they're doing a lot of things well. And it's a completely different team than the week before, and so the approach changes. And we're at work right now preparing for it.
Coach, when it comes to the improvement that you guys have made in the one-score games so far this season, does that just come with experience of playing in those games, or is there something tangible?
I think it's a great question. I think sometimes there's the experience, the confidence gained after you get one, and yet we recognize that we've got to start faster and be more effective in the first half.
John, two of the last 3 weeks you've had 12 penalties, 120 plus penalty yards.
Both sides of the ball. That's concerning, and we've addressed it. We'll continue to address it, and it's one of those items that has to get cleaned up.
When you look at your goals, can you reach them if you don't bring that number down?
Say it again. It would be.
Can you reach it if you don't bring that number?
I think it would be unprecedented. In other words, I don't know that we can find. So that has to change to get to where we want to go.
Is that in personnel? Because you're so detailed oriented out here. Is it?
But not detailed enough. In other words, we still have to look at ourselves first as coaches.
How do you divide those up, Sean? Are there like the pile, okay, those I might not agree with, these are technique?
Yeah, so there's pre-snap. Then there's post-snap. Generally speaking, the post-snap would be behavior fouls. The pre-snap, all right, those are focus. And then during the snap, oftentimes it's technique.
When you look back at some of the slow starts offensively this year, how much of that do you attribute to just play calling in general?
Yeah, that's always a tough question. We look all the time at our sequencing, what we're calling, and if you went through each game, we went through the first half, and you looked at a number of the things that we have to clean up. I think it's more about the in-week prep. Today's practice was different. I won't get into the details, but we have to find a way to make Wednesday like Sunday, and I think that that's part of it.
You just talk about how well Justin Sternad has filled in.
It was a big play. Yeah, it was a big play in the game, and really since last year, we got pressure on that play with Alex. it was a huge play. When you watch that game, I watched it the second time, and it's like this journey that takes you everywhere. I don't feel like I've ever been in something quite like that. But I think the key then is, and I went through it with them, game after games like that, the refocus and ability to get on and learn from a lot of the things that we didn't do well.
You said after the game that you're getting the penalty was silly. I understood kind of why you didn't.
Well, hindsight, it put them. Yeah, I get it. I heard. Yeah, I got it.
The players loved it. So, but how do you balance emotional? You can't.
I can't. No, listen. It was. I can't criticize, but I can disagree with, and we got the incomplete sign from both, and then all of a sudden there was so. Not even thinking about it, it put them that much closer. They scored. It gave us more time. No. No.
If you are going to get a penalty of any kind, but they're already around the one, that's the best place to get it, I guess, because they can.
Yeah. Again, still.
Coach, how did when Bo and JK in particular in the third, towards the end of the third and the fourth quarter, their ability to run, what does that do to this offense when both Bo and JK can get?
Yeah, and look, we have that threat, and. Even in the first half, had some good opportunities. We got back to a few of those plays, and they played out differently. It obviously is a big plus, when you can have some design. We had the third down. It wasn't a third down, but if you remember New Orleans a year ago, we were 3rd and 1, and we kind of got into a similar formation and sent the back opposite the QB and ran a crack. That was a 3rd and 1 call in New Orleans. We knew we were getting man. What I hated was there was a clock issue. We had already showed them the formation, and then you're thinking, all right, are we going to get the same look? I don't know what the clock issue was, but they stopped it. And so we stayed with it, and we still got the same look, and it ended up working out. Ended up scoring a touchdown.
Sean, there was a couple snaps where you had Palcho and Frank both in the game there, and I'm just curious sort of like about each of their evolutions to being in. Say
it again.
Palcho and Crum.
Yeah, so look, Crum has to come in after the tackle eligible play. Like, your guy has to come out. And so we were prepared for that. But to find in that class, to find guys like that late or undrafted is significant.
Any part of you surprised at how well Javonte Williams is doing, and your thoughts on how he's...
Listen, he's a terrific guy, terrific player, and, we're proud of him. He's a great teammate. He's certainly, right at the top of the league in a lot of numbers.
Coach, as you looked after the game, you said some guys playing time could go up, some guys playing time could go down. I'm paraphrasing a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to discuss...
When you look at the roster, though, is the trade market something you would also look to as to try to build this roster going forward?
Yeah, I think there's 2 weeks or so. George and I speak each day about it. It would just be dependent on a few things, but right now the plan is we like what we currently have, and we'll kind of approach it that way.
Sean, how Chesky do start the whole game?
Good, really good. He got a game ball. That was impressive.
Knowing how much you respect Bill Parcells, he has that famous saying, "You are what your record says you are."
That's right.
Do you believe that at 5-2?
Yeah.
And so that's, even if it's weird, it's still, you got.
What's weird?
To get to the way that ending, not weird. It was
every game we play is weird.
Right.
Like the team that we just celebrated the other night, go back through their record.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. Well, I'm saying it's unusual to have less points scored than your opponents and win a Super Bowl. It's weird. So
just to get to
there's no, listen, we don't reflect back. We go forward. And that's how you have to approach it.
We've asked you before about Mike Shanahan, but he took the next step again toward the Hall of Fame.
Outstanding. Man, he should be in. He's going to get in. And he needs to get in sooner than later. 2 championships, the coaching tree, the history as a coordinator, then as a head coach. And I think I don't even want to compare him against others that are in or candidates to be in, but his impact beyond just 2 Super Bowls, his impact on the game and offensively, having played against his teams, it's time.
So you talked about needing hurricane players. It seems especially important at corner.
High hurricane-proof windows.
Yeah.
Not medium or low.
Right.
High, they're expensive.
Yeah. The corner position in particular seems like that's such a necessary thing, just given how much of an island you're on. What do you like about that part of Riley's game?
He's playing outstanding. He's, all the numbers suggest it. Certainly, he's getting a lot of the targets, but he's on to the next play, and he made a great play the other day.
Sean,
He made a great play on the ball.
sorry, but
Go ahead.
when you look back at the screen game, especially early, it seemed a little bit touch and go. Is that
Yeah, and then there were some big ones.
yeah.
Did you see those?
Yep.
How many?
Couple
How many big ones? No, how many big screens?
Maybe 2.
No.
3? No, more.
Not enough. Go watch it. Obviously, there's some looks that we didn't block exactly how we wanted to, but we ended up with some big plays by Tyler, Ingram. Bidet had a couple, so I'm not on the screen count. Next question.
Do you have any relationship with Brian Schottenheimer at all?
Yeah, I know Brian real well. Over the years, he was at the Chargers when Drew came to us. We shared a beach house we were real close to each other. Saw him this summer. I consider him an extremely close friend, and proud of him, happy for him. But I've known him a long time, and even his father. Yeah.
Are they different without Parsons?
Say it again.
Are they different without?
I think anyone is. Yeah. Then they get the other guy though. They're different because Clark's there. So, yeah.
On the screen stuff, how frequently is the difference between success and failure the blocking out front versus the look you get, or other factors?
Sometimes it's the look. Sometimes it's. But look, you have to know when you're going in playing a team like that is up the field and is good at rushing the passer. One of the key things is keeping the QB clean, and there were a few, game-changing plays that were screen plays that I'm glad we had. And listen, if sometimes if the timing or something breaks down, it's not going to change the approach to how they're rushing.
Coach, in the past you've mentioned that when a team gets hot, sometimes you have to create an emergency to keep them focused. On a 4-game win streak, do you feel like that's...
I think this is a veteran team that understands how to get on to the next challenge, and certainly this next team is a big challenge. They understand that.